Welcome back to my channel, Collective Gamer 77, and today we'll be reviewing the Sideshow Collectibles Premium Format Quarter Scale Superman, which came out originally in 2014 with an edition size of about 5,000 pieces worldwide. Unfortunately, it has now been sold out. It is a mixed media piece that stands about 20.5 inches tall. The artists are Martin Canal, who did the sculpt, Bernardo Esquivel, who did paint, Tim Henson, who did costume fabrication, and Chris Anka, who did the overall design. This statue definitely represents one of my ideal grail pieces for Superman. As a child, I'm sure like many of you, comics offered a wonderful world with amazing stories of unbelievable characters with feats of strength, incredible fortitude, and overcoming and facing different types of adversity. Being a child with, of course, no power or control, comics, let one really step into their shoes, so to speak, or climb onto their shoulders and take us on an amazing journey. When I was really young, back in 1981, I watched Christopher Reeve don the suit of Superman, and it definitely made me believe a man could fly. I would say, while I am platform agnostic when it comes to DC versus Marvel, I would say DC does have a stronger place in my heart, especially the trinity of Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. That said, this statue, as you can see, exudes presence. The pose is iconic, somewhat museum quality, but still a slight sense of almost held kinetic action, as if Superman is ready and perched, listening above his Fortress of Solitude base, looking to the heavens to either, ponder his existence as an alien in an all-too-human planet, or just listening out to the universe for cries of help so he may render aid. The physical statue itself, as I mentioned, is a mixed media piece with a sculpted body and head, along with cape and a fabric costume. The build of the statue is just about right. His musculature isn't over-exaggerated. It's got a more realistic balance for the overall figure. Very much like a feel of Alex Ross type of a drawing. And in fact, the face even reminds me of some Alex Ross Kingdom Come Superman. And I'll go into that a little bit later. It's just the right amount for someone that looks like they've been a hero for about 10 to 15 years, possibly in his mid-30s if he were human. And from far away, the statue looks like it's completely sculpted. But as you get closer, you'll see that it is indeed actually fabric over a sculpted cape and boots. The costume itself is just tight enough that clasps around Superman's body to show off some of his lines of his muscle and his physique. When you look closely at his fisted hands, you can actually even see the veins that are well sculpted and painted on them. The overall suit does feel very well textured to the touch. It has a kind of a stretch fabric, something that I imagine the Superman Christopher Reeve's costume was made of. Some parts of the costume even kind of bunch up at the shoulders and near the leg points, fairly realistically, as I think it would bunch up even in real life. As I mentioned, the boots are sculpted along with the cape. The cape itself is actually pretty heavy. It almost feels half or even 3/4 the weight of the figure. It was very well designed. While it looks very dynamic and flowing, it also balances out the piece so it doesn't topple over. I think they did a great job with Superman, especially versus Batman, which you'll see in my upcoming review. I feel pretty satisfied and confident that he wouldn't tip over. Not so much with my Batman. While I think they could do a cloth cape, I think it would have been a little too difficult to get that right pose to make sure it still looked dynamic. It could be done, but you definitely would be spending quite a few minutes fussing around. The face, as I mentioned, is also well sculpted and painted. You can see the skin textures, the blue of his eyes shine through, spit curl S on his hair is perfect. Hair is sculpted. The sculpted portrait, as I mentioned, gives a very Alex Ross Kingdom Come Superman feel. I could even envision this character being in that universe, say 10 to 20 years prior to the events of Kingdom Come taking place. He's got a very calm demeanor in his face, giving a sense of serene purpose. The base itself it's very simple. It's just crystals from the Fortress of Solitude. It doesn't detract or take away from the figure, as far as taking attention away from the figure. The only other base that I could see that might be a good fit would be the top of the Daily Planet. I think it would be a good base as well. It supports the figure well, and again, as I mentioned earlier, doesn't take any of the focus away. This statue was definitely instrumental in completing my DC Trinity. You've already seen my Wonder Woman. I will be doing a Batman next. If you can find it, as they are sold out now for the past 6 years, I'm sure there are still some statue collectors that are slowly getting rid or possibly getting rid of their pieces. If you can find it for a decent price, I would recommend picking it up. It's a great balance of having a comic book Superman that doesn't have an exaggerated comic book musculature or muscles. It also has, and is reminiscent of Alex Ross's Kingdom Come, and easily one of my grail pieces. Again, thank you very much for watching this vid. It's a very short review. Please like and subscribe. I will be producing more.